everyone, Will here from Mature Minded Gamers, and today I'm going to be showing you Before the Earth Explodes from Green Couch Games. This game is a two-player game, plays in around 20 minutes, a very action selection, kind of a paper, rock, scissors style game. So to set up the game, you're going to be having these three quarry cards that are at the top of the table. You have your ship cards as well as your planet cards. To set up, you're going to be taking three random resources that are drawn out of the nice included bag that comes with it. And you're going to be taking three of these and putting onto each of the quarries at random. Okay. Each player is then going to be given two of the resources as well. There are three different types of resources: a clear, a white, and a black. The players are each going to be given an A, B, C, and D card, and they are two different colors, kind of this burgundy and an orange, and each player is going to be given a set of those. You're then going to be taking three of these ship cards and placing them out. You have the planet cards as well. This is actually one of the ways you win the game, when you have 7 of these planets under your control. Another way you can win is if you knock out your opponent's health, or if you get your technology track all the way to 7. Next up is you shuffle these, set up, and then you give the tiebreaker token to the player that is the tallest player or the one closest to space. I guess that's a way to do it. I wasn't necessarily sold on that, but if you're playing just the same person all the time, this player is always going to be the tiebreaker at the beginning. This will swap back and forth, so it's not really that big of a deal. So you have 4 different phases in this game. First off, you have the reactions phase. So in this phase, each player is going to be taking one of their A, B, C, D cards, deciding which one to play, placing it face down in front of them. The next player is going to be doing the same thing, taking one of their cards and placing it face down in front of them. And you are going to be then play the cards, reveal them both at the same time, noticing that we both played the mine card. Okay. You're going to be doing your reaction phase, which is the top part, basically the part that is in the card itself. So kind of give you an example of that. So we both played the mine card. Okay. So the reaction section is going to be this part here. So for example, if this player had the tiebreaker, they're going to do theirs first. This is basically saying that A does not happen when the play step happens, and then the opponent is going to be taking 1 damage. So we're both going to be taking 1 damage, and that's the very simple track indicator here. Just either sliding that up or down, depending on, as long as it's the same, it really doesn't matter. But let's say we take a damage, we move that up, and the other player is going to be taking a damage as well. So on their little slider, they're going to be taking a damage too. Then you move on into the next phase, which is the actions phase. So whichever letter is actually higher up, or closer to A. So in both instances here, the D. So the player that is the tiebreaker is going to actually do theirs first. Now this one here allows you to take up to 3 resources off of a quarry. The max you can have on here is actually 3. Second player is going to be doing the same thing, and they're going to go to their respective piles. The next one is the colonized phase. So in this phase, each player whose action was not canceled may now colonize 1 available planet by spending the required amount of resources. So this player here, the first player that is the tiebreaker player, has 3 blacks and 2 whites. So they look at the available colonizable planets and then decide they're going to take this one here, this Kurkroth planet. Okay, they're going to place that up in front of them. Okay, the next player is going to be doing the same thing, going to be taking their resource, spending that, returning it to the supply, and then they are going to be colonizing Tothea. They're going to place that in front of them. And then step 4, as far as phase 4, is the maintenance phase. Add 1 resources drawn at random. So you're going to take this from the bag of resources, and each quarry is then going to be getting 1 random resource played on it, except for the one that are full. Okay. And then these cards go back to your hand, so that both of the mines are going to go back to the player's hands, and the turn is going to start over as far as once these are filled up. Now, the cards themselves do give you a lot of different actions and possibilities. So, for example, the spaceship cards that we have here, Davnarok. So, Davnarok, for example, is going to take any 2 resources from the supply. This one here, the PXV Huang, you increase your technology by 1, take 1 white resources from the supply. So you would take a white resource from the bag, increase your technology track up by 1. So again, another way to win is get your thing up to 7. So let's do another round, kind of give you an example of if, different cards were played. So let's go ahead and say that these 2 actions were taken. So if we notice, now this actually passed because the initiative was used. So now it doesn't matter based on the initiative token. This player was able to play the A, or chose to play the A, while this player chose to play the B. So this is going to go off first. So this allows the player here to be able to take a card or a ship card from the row. Okay. So take 1 available spaceship card. If your opponent played B, cancel their action and deal them 1 damage. So if you notice here, so I'm going to take this card, place it out in front of me. This also says B is canceled. So this card is completely canceled. They don't get to take their reaction phase or their action phase. You could cancel their action down here. So the reaction phase would still go off. But in this instance, C wasn't played or D wasn't played, so this wouldn't do anything. So then it goes back until you go through the different phases. Phase 2 of doing the actions, which is the bottom step. So I'd finish up this card, which would allow me to increase my technology by 1. So my track would go up another level. And you just keep going that until 1 player is the winner. When I first sat down to learn this game, I liked how the components looked. I liked how the symbology kind of, looked different and it seemed simple enough. And once you kind of figure out the iconography, it starts to make a little bit more sense as far as like what every single type of symbol means. But when you first start learning, it is kind of a slog. I had to reference the rulebook several times to get going, but the problem that I have is if, I don't know if this is a game that I'll just keep playing and playing and playing. It was a fun filler game. If you only have a couple minutes to spare, I would play it again. I don't know if this is really a keep for me. I think this would be a fun backpack game to have if you and a buddy maybe are out and about going to lunch or something, just want something, a small footprint to, whip out on the table and just have a fun time. But I don't know if this would be something when I have other games that have that big box feel in a small box, such as like the Tiny Epic series. But this one was fun. It was, I believe I paid $15 for it, I think. So it was fun. I don't know if this is really a keeper for me when I have a lot of other games that are taking up shelf space. I'd love to hear what you guys think about Before the Earth Explodes. A very good looking game. The quality of the components are very nice. This bag is fantastic. These little pieces here are really well done. The ship is nice. The card quality is really good. Good quality for $15. I would definitely say if you like spaceship 2-player quick fun games, this would be great for you. Just not for me. So yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys think, but be sure to check out all of our other great content on maturemindedgamers.com. We do video games, board games, and Star Trek and much more. So hit that like and subscribe, and we will catch you at the table.